As 2020 came to a close, there was a collective sigh of relief felt across the country and even the world. 2020 has been a year of uncertainty, and many people are grieving the loss of their loved ones to the coronavirus. 2021 brings new questions and looming threats. So the question is, how can we plan for the year ahead? Do we really want to tackle this? I don't know. Josh Ackerman, he's an associate professor of psychology at the University of Michigan. Thanks so much for being with us. He recently was interviewed for a story on Mashable.com titled, How to Plan for 2021 After Saying Good Riddance to 2020. Josh, thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me, Jamie.
So, as humans, we don't fare so well when we lack that feeling of control. I have said since the beginning, I just try to take each day at a time. I think a lot of us looked at the calendar going, okay, 2021, here we go. But there's still so much unpredictability in the air. How should we be talking about this? How do we plan as we step into this new year?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, we are in a new year, which is fantastic, and there are reasons to be hopeful, but we're still facing a lot of uncertainty. Uncertainty with respect to things like the vaccine rollout or how quickly this is going to happen and what it even means to have a portion of the population vaccinated. How quickly can we return to our regular lives? And we know that people who are facing uncertainty don't always deal with that very well. In fact, it's one of the most anxiety-producing states that we can experience as people.
Tell me about it.
Especially, yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, that's, I'm laughing here, but I think we've all had to come to terms with things this year, right, about ourselves, and a lot of it for people has been anxiety. You specialize in decision making, and I know for a lot of people when they're looking at the calendar and they're trying to think about maybe taking a big trip or once they're vaccinated, something that they really want to do that's special. But do we really need to tame our expectations for 2021? It's not like we flip the calendar and everything's back to normal.
No, we absolutely do. And I think this is one of the challenges that we're going to be facing this year. We have a solution to the problem that we're facing, but it's not going to be a quick solution. And so I think we do need to temper our expectations about what it's going to mean for returning to normal and how quickly that could potentially happen. I mean, one of the potential downsides of focusing too much on the solution as everyday people is that we might end up acting in ways that sort of start returning to normal and putting ourselves at greater risk before we receive the vaccine. And so we need to just be a little bit careful and cautious about how we're acting until the vaccine rollout is widely successful.
I think that's an important point because people do see light at the end of the tunnel, and you think, well, maybe I can go see those friends, or maybe we could go have dinner, or maybe, and you do have to kind of take a deep breath and say, we're not there yet. With people who are restless, who should we be leaning on for information? What resources would you tell people to go to?
Yeah, well, the best people we can turn to are the people who have the insider knowledge, the information, and that's public health experts. We, as humans, and this is entirely understandable, we tend to default to listening to people that are around us, that we interact with, our friends, our family. But except in maybe rare cases, they're not going to be the people that have that specific knowledge, that expertise. And so listening to what the public health officials are telling us with respect to what we need to be doing and how we need to be thinking about our future plans is the best solution for who we should be listening to.
What sorts of difficult decisions do you expect will be met with in 2021? And is there any way we can prepare for those now?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's going to be a host of difficult decisions. I mean, the decisions around how this, who gets the vaccine, what the order is, and what that means for returning to life as normal, right? What does it mean to going back into restaurants, to traveling? Are people going to be required to have the vaccine in order to do these kinds of things? And so I think that we can start to think about making plans, but we really do need to be flexible about how we're thinking about those expectations, those plans for the future, because there's still a lot of uncertainty about how well this whole process is going to go. Obviously, that said, it's still quite nice to be hopeful for the future.
You know, one thing I know I've started trying to really practice every day is mindfulness and meditation, those types of things. Those are safe, they're practical exercises that we can do to treat our feelings of frustration. What other advice do you have?
Yeah, I've actually done the same thing. So I think mindfulness and meditation are excellent ways of exercising our mind, essentially, and helping to manage some of the anxiety that we're facing. And then there's just some of the more common things that we already know work, like physical exercise. Whether it's getting out and walking or doing what kinds of cardio we can, it's sort of exercising the body, exercising the mind. These are things that help to regulate our physiological system so that anxiety isn't producing the same level of impact on us. And I think it's just important to spend some time appreciating the things that we do have, right? So, thinking about those experiences that we have, the communication that we have with friends and family, the little things. Those are going to be the what we need to be focusing on, at least until life begins to return to a bit more to normal.
Yeah, one thing I started doing is I write down 3 things each day I'm grateful for, and I found that puts me into a more positive mind space.
Absolutely, yeah. And there's quite a bit of work suggesting that things like gratitude, things like acknowledgement or appreciation of those things we can control, those things we do have with us and the people we have around us, those are going to be the things that help sustain us and help to reduce, again, that level of anxiety that is just sort of chronically lurking, at least as long as this pandemic is ongoing.
Yes, deep breaths in and out. Josh Ackerman, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.